Hey there, my name is Anna, and in March 2023, I quit my job and started a year of full-time travel. In the last episode, I left Indonesia behind after a wonderful few days relaxing and learning in the Gili Islands. Today, I'll be traveling to Singapore to spend a few days in this futuristic city. I'll be touring some of the famous landmarks, watching some spectacular light shows, and learning more about this country, the old and the new. Welcome to Singapore. Hello and good morning. Today I am up and walking with all of my things because we're on the way to the airport. We're gonna go to Singapore. I've been in Bali for the past month. I've really enjoyed it. I've just taken some time to just be by myself and not film too much and not worry about anything. It's been a really nice break. Now we're off to mainland Southeast Asia, and I'm really excited to get the ball rolling and start getting some adventures. Okay, I've made it into Singapore, so I really need to get better at doing research on these visas before I show up. I'm not in Europe. I can't just show up like I have been able to. So you do have to do a visa on arrival situation here in Singapore, which I wasn't aware of, but that's okay. It's $35 if you get it priority shipped. It works within an hour, but just be forewarned. I think you can do it a day or two in advance, and it might not cost anything. It might cost less, if not free. But yeah, I've decided. I've been sitting here trying to figure out if I want to take a Grab or if I want to take the bus. The bus is an hour long, but it's only like $1, and then a car is 15 minutes, but it's also about $15. So I'm gonna take the bus. I'm getting pretty tired. But luckily I had a meal on the plane, so I'm not super hungry, which is helpful for the anxiety and helpful for me just hanging out and chilling at the hostel when I get there. But let's go catch a bus and pray that it's true when it says that I can pay with contactless card, because I don't have any money yet. Singapore is a small city-state with a complex history dating back at least 800 years. Its contemporary era began in 1819 when Stamford Raffles, a British colonial official, established Singapore as a trading post of the British Empire. This brought migrants from all over the area to work, starting the multi-ethnic society it prides itself on. Today, Singapore is a small but powerful player on the world stage. It ranks highly in many social aspects, including education, healthcare, and housing. Hello and good morning from day one here in Singapore. Today I am in the Chinatown area. I'm gonna walk around the city center and get to know the most popular sites here in Singapore. When Raffles was building his master town plan in 1822, he predicted Chinese immigrants would form the bulk of the future settlement. He was right. The 2020 census reported that about 74% of residents were of Chinese descent. Though that population is now spread throughout Singapore, the historic community settlement has kept its distinct style.
is an architecture lover's dream, as it has striking and unique designs around every turn. There are the contemporary marvels around the city that perfectly blend natural elements with futuristic ones. But the country has made conserving its traditional architecture a priority as well. Raffles developed a new type of building in his town plan, inspired by traditional houses in South China. These buildings, called shophouses, had shops on the bottom floor, the homes of the merchants on the top, and a standard 5-foot veranda along the street. This staple architectural style has become synonymous with Southeast Asia as it spread across the region. Just a bit of a walk through Chinatown brings you to the URA Center. The URA, or Urban Redevelopment Authority, is responsible for the conservation and innovation in urban development that Singapore is so famous for. The center holds a free exhibit called the Singapore City Gallery that charts the city's urban transformation in the last 50 years and its future plans. This 3-story exhibit is full of interactive elements to teach you about the important aspects of urban development, environmental, and historic conservation.
Okay, so I really enjoyed that last museum. I've always been super interested in architecture and city planning, and I also really love interactive museums and free museums, so this was perfect for me. I highly recommend going to see it, going to visit. It only took me about an hour, about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go through, but it was really interesting. The US can learn a lot from Singapore. It's actually really sad, the amount of waste that we have, but anyway, that's for a different vlog. God only knows how far I've walked today. The rooftop observatory was beautiful and free. Highly recommend going up there. Now I'm headed over to Gardens by the Bay. I'm gonna take the train to see how that works here. All I've done is buses so far, so I want to see what it looks like. So change of plans. I got lost trying to find the subway. The walkway to get to the subway wasn't just your normal subway, like dirty or even like empty with street art kind of place. It has shops and it was air conditioned. It went into a tower and like underground through the tower. It's just like, it's all woven together. So instead I am walking and I am tired. Earlier it said that it was 100 and it felt like 104 and I can believe it. God, it's hot. I should have taken the bus. I'm at the south gate, which means I'm far away from all of the things and I have to walk, and I've already walked and I have to walk more. Oh my God, it's so humid, like no wind. Oh well, I can see the big trees now. That's pretty cool. Luckily my dumbass remembered that I have a fan, so once I find a spot to sit down in, I'm going to pull that thing out and rest, because Jesus Christ, it's gonna be worth it. This is the #1 thing to do in Singapore. I'm doing the thing. Okay.
The Gardens by the Bay is a nature park spanning 260 acres in the central region of Singapore. It is one of the icons of the city and is part of the nation's aim to raise the quality of life by enhancing greenery and flora.
Crowded down here right now. The light show doesn't start until 7:45, so I don't know if I'm gonna sit here and wait for another hour just sitting here. Okay, bit of an update. I was starving and it was so hot, and I could not sit there and wait for a light show, a 15-minute light show. Starving, hot, and with the migraine starting. There's one more show tonight, so I decided to come to the food court. This is one of those times where solo traveling is really difficult because there was nobody who could go get me food, and nobody who could sit and hold the spot while I get food. And it's just insane in here, because what's the point of getting a table when there's nobody to see it? And what am I gonna do? Leave all my things and go grab my food? So I'm just sitting in a chair with families all around me and everything like that, and it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna see the light shows that I came here to see. It's just, it gets a little hard sometimes being solo. And oh my God, my head is killing me. Ugh. Look at those boots. Okay, I have one more light show to watch, and then I'm out of here for the night. I'm exhausted. Luckily, my head doesn't hurt that much anymore since I ate. those were so worth the wait. And seeing this shopping center is amazing. So camera's gonna die, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sign off here. Hello and welcome to another beautiful and very humid day here in Singapore. Today we're walking around the Singapore Botanical Gardens. I'm gonna go see Little India and do a walking tour around the area that my hostel is at.
The Singapore Botanic Gardens is a 165-year-old tropical garden and the first and only tropical botanic garden on the UNESCO's World Heritage List. More than 10,000 species of flora are spread across its 200-acre area.
Back there they had the main attraction for the Singapore Botanical Gardens, the orchid garden. I love orchids. I used to consider them my favorite flower, but I just cannot, I can't pay $15 to go look at some flowers. I can't do it. Not when there's so many gorgeous things out here for free. Sorry. You have to pick and choose, and that's not one of the things that's a priority for me. Nice and peaceful here. Like, I haven't seen very many people. In fact, I haven't seen that many people in Singapore in general. Like there's people, but it's not crowded of a city as I expected it to be. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if everyone's just on vacation or just everyone was at work when I was out. That's probably it. But yeah. Right now I'm gonna go check out a gallery, museum, of course, and it's an exhibition about climate change. Well, that was the Singapore Botanic Gardens, and now I'm going to get on a bus and head towards Little India, grab some lunch, see that area. I've heard it's really cute.
I took a detour to visit Arab Street to learn more about the second ethnic group in Singapore, the Malays. Malay Singaporeans are the second largest ethnic group in Singapore and are recognized as the indigenous people of the country. Arab Street, the Muslim quarter in Singapore, was designed for Arab traders and merchants in Raffles Town Plan and has kept its distinct Arabian vibe. It's known for its colorful shops and restaurants, many of which are still owned by Arab merchants. It's also home to several mosques, including the Sultan Mosque. Originally built in 1824 by the first Sultan of Singapore, the mosque is considered the national mosque of the country and is a focal point of Singapore's Malay community. Little India was originally a European area used for cattle trading. Indian migrant workers specialized in working with cattle and found job opportunities there. That night, I went on a walking tour produced by my hostel. But this isn't your average walking tour. Katong Dreaming is a unique performance art tour that brings live musical theater onto the streets of Katong. This walking tour explores Singapore's first conservation neighborhood, its contemporary history, and the cultural heritage of the Peranicans. Peranicans are descendants of the first settlers in the region. Considered more a culture than an ethnicity, it draws from Chinese, Malay, and Western influences. Many Peranicans became wealthy during British colonization, which is reflected in the elaborate and eclectic designs and foods that mark this group. I spent my last day exploring more of Katong, eating at hawker stalls, revisiting the gardens, and preparing for my next journey. I left with an overall good impression of Singapore. The mix of multiculturalism and environmentalism that the country prioritizes was an inspiration to see. With plenty to see and do for free, one can spend several days here without the exorbitant prices Singapore has a reputation for. That's it for this episode. Be sure to join me next time as I travel to Malacca, the birthplace of Malaysia. See you then!